I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about some workouts you can do to improve your kicking. So anyway, let's get started. One of the basic things that I do for my workouts is, when I first started training early on, I heard about guys who were really, really good and considered the best kickers, and how they would just kick thousands of times a day. And this is really how you get good at stuff. So I developed a workout where I would do a lot of kicks, a lot of repetitions, and I'd kind of do it like this. I'd break it down. I'd pick a set of kicks, and I'd do 2 sets with each of them. Now you can start out with whatever level you're at. In the first set, I do maybe 10 of the kick. And you can gradually work up to where you're doing 20 or 30. But the first set, all I would do is just the basic kick without trying to telegraph or anything like that, just breaking it down, isolating the kick. So for example, I might start with a front kick. I would just stand. Try to do that from my fighting stance and do all 10, 20, however many kicks I'm doing without any kind of telegraphing. Just really feeling what my body feels like when I do the kick. Trying to notice any extra motions I have. When I watch this later, I'm probably going to notice things that I'm doing wrong. So when I do that with my right leg, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 times, however many times are good for you, and just going out and just doing the kick. Now you're not going to fight like this. You're going to be moving around, it's going to be a moving target. So in round number 2, I do it more like a round, where I would do the kick, and then I would follow up with something. So for example, if I was on my left side, now that's 1, because that was 1 front kick. Okay, that was like 3. And I do that the same amount of times. Sets 1 and 2. Usually when I first started off, I would break this down. And these are the kicks I'd usually do. I usually start with the front kick. Okay, I would do a side kick. Remember, I'm doing 20, however many on each side, 2 sets each. Roundhouse. I don't use these very much, but I would always do crescent kicks inside and outside, because they're really good for your flexibility and for the ball and socket joint. Inside crescent, hitting with the inside of my foot, and then the outside crescent, hitting with the outside of my foot. You could also do hook kick. I'd always do obliques too. Okay, from the front on all those, we have front kick, hit with the ball of my foot, side kick, oblique, and with the inside of my foot, roundhouse, hit with the top of my foot, hook kick, inside crescent, outside crescent. Okay, and remember, 2 sets of each. First set, just the kick. Second kick set, doing the kick with some follow-ups. Okay, that'll take you through. That'll be a really good workout for you. Keep going. Another good thing for leg strength and endurance that I've started having my kickboxing people do, and I'll do this too when I'm doing my stuff, is I'll go for a minute trying not to let the foot hit the ground. One thing I try to develop with my legs is that fine kind of motor control that you have with your arms, and that's hard. One thing I find that's really good for that is doing the savate type kicking. Again, this is another thing that I don't necessarily do when I'm sparring or fighting, but it's effective and it's going to help make your other kicks better. So when I do this, I'll pick a leg. Like I said, I'll go for like a minute on each leg. And I try not to let the leg hit the ground during that whole minute. If it does, no big deal. I just start over, pick it up, start over, keep going. And try to mix those kicks up. So. Now that is going to tire you out. It's a good workout. And make sure you do both sides. Notice I'm switching the types of kicks. Okay? Trying to keep that leg up the whole time. Really good workout. Really tire you out. Really will develop that leg strength. Another thing of similar vein is I'm going to do the same thing. Stay on one leg for a minute and have my people. This helps you with balance, helps you with a little bit of leg strength. Pick the leg up. Stay there for a minute. Now, while I'm doing this, I'll have people, okay, do like 10 front kicks. Just snap it out. Then side. Still keeping that leg up. You go to the back. Turn sideways so you can see. Like a back kick. Okay? And just try to keep that leg up. Work on my balance, work on my leg strength. Here's another really good exercise that I'll do for the leg strength. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to basically get on a wall. You can do this without a wall eventually too, but first start off here for your balance. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this leg, I'm not going to let it touch the ground, I'm going to bring it straight up. Okay? And I'll do that as high as I can, about 20 times. And then on the 20th time, I'll hold it up. Count to about 10. 10 1,000, 9 1,000, like that in my head. For a little bit more advanced version of that, you can also do mini little squats right here while you're holding it up. This is really good. You will feel it in your buttocks. Yes, you will. Basically here, make sure you do this on both sides. Bring it up. Then you hold it in. Doing your little mini squats. When you do the mini squats, you don't want to go too deep because it's going to put a lot of pressure on your knee. So it's really just a very little bounce right there. And you'll really feel that. It'll be really good for your legs. That is just a few tips for you to work on your kicking. One thing to keep in mind, it's really repetition. We do so much stuff with our hands and arms all day that we really have a lot of control over them. In order for you to get your legs to be accurate, powerful, and have the good timing, you got to have repetition. So do that a lot. A couple modifications. The workout that I did on the heavy bag with the kicks, you could do in the air too, shadow boxing. And one mistake I think a lot of people make is they kick differently if they're going to hit something than if they're going to miss. So for example, people who are shadow boxing will throw their kicks a little bit different than they do when they know they're going to hit the heavy bag. Now the problem with this is if you have a different kick when you're going to miss than when you're going to hit, when you think you're going to hit something and it moves out of the way, like for example an opponent, and you miss, you can throw your knee out, you can pull a muscle. So try to really concentrate on what it feels like when you're shadow boxing and throwing those kicks. Because that's the same way it should be when you're actually hitting the bag. Another thing too, any kind of jumping kicks is really good for your explosiveness. If you want to do running, make sure you add sprinting in. Because the kind of kicks you want to do when you're fighting really should involve fast twitch muscle fibers, a lot more closely related to sprinting than to distance running. You don't want your kicks to accelerate like a car slowly over time. You want kicks that accelerate like a bullet or like an arrow coming off of a bow because they start out at maximum speed. If you watch a sprinter, when that gun goes off, they're at maximum speed right off the gate. And that's how you want your kicks to be. Because if they're slow and coming out, you're going to have a real hard time hitting something. Anyway, keep this in mind. Hope it helps out. Really important to have a good kicking range. Like I said, I can't emphasize enough. If you want to be a fighter, if you want to be a complete fighter, you got to be good at kicking, you got to be good at punching, you got to be good at elbow and knee range, you got to be good at grappling, because you never know. All right, so everybody have a great day, happy training, and work hard, do lots of reps. Happy kicking.